Okay, I'm going to try to do a video and try to explain how this AMS stacking system is printed out, put together, what parts you need, what parts you don't need. It's a good system, and the biggest issue a lot of people have is, in my opinion, the way it's put together on the Maker World is the pieces are scattered out everywhere. There's multiple different options on different plates, and people don't know what they need for what configuration and so forth. So I've had this now for probably at least 2-3 months, and so far I've been pretty happy with it. There is another model out there that I also like, but I already got this one, so I'm going to stick with it. And first, just let me say that I printed this out in Polymaker PLA high temperature HT. Everything that is the lighter, kind of the gray color, it's about as close as you can get to matching the H2 series. It's a lot lighter than the P2 series. The green parts here are they are ABS glass fiber, and bamboo, that was bamboos, but they no longer make it. It's no longer available. But you can use ASA glass fiber or any kind of material like that. You want something that's pretty stiff, and there is some modifications you need to do for this one. I'll get to that in a little bit. So anyway, this is what it looks like. There on the top shelf you can put 3 AMS HTs up there. There's also a spool holder option, a little tray where I keep all my bits and pieces, and that works out good. And of course both shelves, pull out, and it's got a plate holder at the bottom as well. So let me jump over to the computer, and I apologize, I tried to hook up my tripod, but I could not get it into a place where to where you could see well, so I'm just gonna have to wing this, and just had to put up with my shaky hands. So this is what it looks like. It's by Jaxel or Ultra Jaxel, I think. Anyway, I don't want this to sound negative, but in a way it is. The designer doesn't respond very well to, I can't tell how many times I've seen people post questions and there's just no response. I've still got some stuff that I posted back when I printed this that still have not been answered to this day. So that's a little bit disappointing, and hopefully this video will help some people. The designer's got 2 profiles up here, and one is for the H2D, which is the one I used. The other one is for the X and P series build plate sizes. It doesn't really tell you that, but that's what those 2 different profiles are for. If you do the one for the X and the P series, because the build plate is not big enough, you wind up with a lot of pieces that are put together that have bow ties. I've seen a lot of people complain that they were not quite as strong as printing out on the H series. You can print out all the pieces without having to have any of them broken in half and pieced together. So just keep that in mind. If you do have a H series, it's much better to print it on that. So there, I mean, there's some pretty good pictures in here, of what it looks like and everything. These are old handles. They don't look like that anymore. Some of the pictures haven't been updated. That's all the pictures. This is what the handles look like now, and that's what I have on mine. So I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. This is a demonstration video, which is good. This is a assembly video, which is also fairly good. Still, there's a lot of questions answered that need to be answered after this when it comes to figuring out what you got to print. I bet you there's no short of at least 20 or 25 people asking where the back brace is at, because it's not included in these files up here. This is just a very base file. There is a total of, I believe, 12 or 13 files to print out what you saw I have, and that are not in here. Okay, they're all in separate. I'll scroll down here a little bit. You'll see. So this is the base model. It tells you right here what's in there. These are all the optional things, like the AMS HT tray, the counterweight, the extension kit. You know, a lot of people don't even know what that is. The feet and the heads. These are all separate files, okay? And so anyway, I'm gonna get back up here. So the video, putting it together, watch it several times. You may or may not be able to find the exact soft close rails that he had. I actually ordered them the same place that he got his from Home Depot. They sent me the wrong ones. They didn't send me the soft close. I sent them back. I ended up just buying a pair of soft close. They were not the better brand. This Hickory Hardware brand, they were not that brand, but they worked okay. All right, so now I'm gonna switch over here. This is the base model. This is what you're gonna see when you open up that file. Okay, there's six plates in here, and I'm gonna try to explain the best way I can what these plates are or what you need. So the very first one up here, this is your slide rails, okay? What is it called up here? This is called riser slides, and it says ×2. Okay, so that means for one level, okay, you're gonna need 2 of these, or maybe I may have relabeled some of these, so I believe it didn't have the ×2 on there. I think I came and changed that. So you need 2 plates of these. For 2, this is for 1 AMS. So if you got 2 AMSs, you need two plates of these. If you got 3, you're gonna need 3 plates of these. All right, you need these for sure. All right. Next, over here, this is what they call the riser, and there's 2 different kinds of risers. There's this kind, and then there is the honeycomb. This is the honeycomb, or they call it storage wall, honeycomb storage wall. That's what I used, okay? So you don't need both. You have to pick which one you want. If you want this one, then you print that. If you want the other one, then you print it. You don't need both. What this looks like on the other side, it's got 2 channels, kind of like that. That's what it looks like. Okay. So this is the I guess they would call the, and this is another thing that's a little bit confusing. These are considered single, and these are considered double. Okay, or a better way to look at it would be, yeah, I guess that's the best way. It's a little bit confusing, but this is considered a 2. This is considered a 4, and they call it a double, but it's a 4 tab. These are 2 tabs. These are 4 tabs down here. These tabs on the bottom. Okay. That becomes important later. The next thing, let's look at your AMS bracket. These are the brackets that actually hold the frame that holds the AMS. They call it braces, okay? So this would be for 1 AMS, all right? So if you got 2 AMSs, you're going to have to print this plate twice. If you've got 3, you're going to have to print it 3 times. Trying to remember, I had a little bit of difficulty with some of these clips here. There's some supports under them. Let me see if I can show that. So these are not sitting down flat on the plate, so there is some support under here. I didn't have too much trouble with the support. I had trouble with because of the shrinkage of this material, and I think at the time when I printed this, I don't remember if I had the material calibrated. This stuff had about 0.5% of shrinkage, so instead of being 100%, I had to put in like 99.5. And I don't remember when I printed this out if I had it calibrated or not. So be cognizant of that. I've heard of some people lengthening these, this area right here to make it snap fit better into these. It goes down in here, it snaps in, I believe it's here. I could be wrong, it might be over here. But anyway, it snaps into one of these ends. So for these, you need to print these out of something that can handle some heat. I printed them out of ABS glass fiber. You might be able to get away with PETG, but because the AMS 2 Pro, which is what this file is for, can do drying up to 65 degrees, and then you just want to make sure you got some good strong material. You might be able to get by with PETG, but I went ahead and printed it out of that. So this would be for the AMS2. Next one over here, slide over. This is for the AMS1. All the same parts, just made for the AMS1. So don't get them mixed up, don't get them confused, don't print out both. Thinking this one's for one AMS, the other one's for the other. Okay, you just pick one or the other. Same thing with this riser. You either you pick that one, or you pick this one down here. Either one. So let's talk about the riser for a minute. I went with this riser right here. I'll show you. That's what it looks like. For a stack of 2, I needed 2 of those on each side, so a total of 4. Okay, so you've only got 1 here. I put ×2. That's ×2 for each AMS. So if you've got 2 AMSs, you're going to need 4 of these. So that's part that you have to have. Some of these up here are optional. These are called connectors. See if I can zoom in to where you can see it better. These are T connectors, and there's different sizes. This one right here, they call it a 1x1, and the reason, it's got 2 of these T connectors, but the reason why it's called 1x1 is because it's a single panel. If you look at this one over here, this is a 2 panel, and then you got this one up here is a 3 panel, and then a 4 panel. Okay, let's see if I can flip this back around. Let's get it centered, zoom it back in. So on the 2 panel, you've got four T connectors. And the reason why I'm spending so much time on this is it's confusing when you get ready to put it all together, when you're trying to figure out which ones you need. Then you on this one over here, which is called the 1x3, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these T connectors, but it's actually 3 of the outside tabs. And this one right here would be a 4, and I think it's got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is what I printed out originally, and I ended up having to, instead of printing out more, I think I ended up just breaking some of these off to make it equivalent to this one over here. It was pretty easy to do that. So this is what you get when you open up the file. All right, and then this is where a lot of people, they watch the video and they're like, well, where's the back brace? Where's this? Where's that? Because none of it's included in this file. Okay, so I hope this is clear, but you're going to need the rails here. You're going to need 2 of them for each AMS. And then you're going to need some kind of a riser, whether it's the standard one, or if you go with the honeycomb, you're going to need some type of a riser. These little dowel pins, they go on the top and bottom. So I went with the honeycomb storage wall version. It takes longer to print because it's more intricate, but I just thought it looked better. All right, so that's it for that file. So let's go and let's look at what else that you have to have. So these are all the files here. You got a stationary adapter, you got an AMS HT tray, the extension kit, feet and heads, that's for the top and the bottom. It would be like a cap on the top. I can show you right here. These are the caps right here. On the bottom, it's a TPU foot. So that's what the feet and the heads are. This stationary adapter was just a secondary one. It's a duplicate. Plate rack holder, counterweight. That would be optional. Stationary adapter, that's just the STL by itself. This is the what is this? Why do I have that? Oh, I know what it is. So I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's open up, I think this is his original file. I've done modified my file. I brought in the honeycomb storage wall risers. I brought that into this other file. So it didn't even have it in here from the beginning. Unless I modified this one too, I don't know. I want to try to give you, I think I brought it in here. So originally this didn't come in here. So I already done modified this. So I guess forget about that comment then. But the reason why this is here is because that's a separate file. The honeycomb storage wall riser with dowel pins, that did not come together with that other file. I brought those in and added them to this file. So you will have to download that as a separate file if you want the honeycomb. Matter of fact, we go over here to the website. Where is it at? Right here. Honeycomb risers. So that's a separate file. And yeah, so anyway, that's I had combined it in my file. This is going to be a long video, and I apologize for that, but I hope it helps somebody out. So the next thing that you're going to need to look at is the extension kit. I'm going to open it up. I believe that's the right one. Let's see what. Nah, that may not be the right one that I'm thinking about. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. All right. And just from looking at this, it's very, very confusing. All right. So what was this thing called? I think the file was called extension kit. Okay. But guess what's located in here? The back brace. That's why nobody could find it. It's in here with the extension kit. So this is the back brace that you need. All right. And these are all different pieces for the extension kit. And what the extension kit is, it's in the video, and it's fairly self-explanatory as to what it is. I don't know if I can, let me get some better light. It's going to be a little hard to see. This piece along the back that goes up on the back, that's the extension kit. Okay, what that does is that extends the width, this width here, it extends it back further, because the 14-inch rails, if you didn't have that extension kit on there, would stick out the back. I guess it's just not long enough. It wasn't made with that in mind when it was designed, so that extra piece that goes on the back is part, it's called the extension kit. And you can see it goes up, and then it goes up again. So that's what that is. And so you need one of these. Okay, that's all I have is one of, I believe, or is there two of them? I think there's only one. Let me double check here. I'm gonna pull my, excuse me. No, there is actually two. So there's one, you need one of these for each AMS. Did I put ×2 on here? No, I did not. So you need, for this extension brace, you're going to need two. You need one for each AMS. So if you got two AMSs, you're going to need to print this plate twice. Probably should change that and put ×2. And if you got three, you're going to have to do it 3 times. These pieces over here are parts for the extension, okay? And again, like we talked about before with the tabs, okay? You can see here, there's tabs on here. This one has got 2, 4, 6, 8. And they're also different sides. This is the left side, and this is the right side. And this is called a quad, or 4. And then you also have down here, you have what they call a triple. So you got 3, 4, and then you got, I think this one, what is this one? This one is a triple for the bottom, okay? And then these up here are different ones for double and single. And I did not use a lot of this stuff. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think I used this quad left and quad right. Okay. And then I think I used, after that, I either used the triple or the double for the top. Let me see if I can get back here and look and see. So there's a, no, I've just got, and I may have done it wrong. I've got two sets of the quad is what I have. Now I may have done it wrong, and that's very possible. So I actually had, this is for one AMS. This is left side, right side. So if you got two AMSs, you got to print these plates out twice. That's what I did. I basically printed out, one of these each side for each AMS. Now, what I think you should have done was do this on the bottom, which is a 3. Or maybe this is for a triple AMS. I'm not sure. It's kind of a little bit confusing. I still to this day don't know if I did it right or not. Maybe this is, if you're doing a triple AMS, maybe you're supposed to have one of these on the bottom, then one of these, and then this one right here, on the top. Maybe that's what that's for. I don't know. This quad, it kind of, it's a little bit misleading. First, I thought it meant quad AMSs, so 4 AMSs, and maybe that's the case. And I used 2 for 2, maybe you use 4 for 4, and maybe the triple, you use one of these, and then you use one of these, and then one of these. I don't know about these up here. Maybe they have some use if you're, something different. I did not use any of these up here. Only ones I used was the left and the right, and that's it. All right, so those pieces slide and attach onto the back to extend the back. And then this back brace up here, this back brace actually is what connects between these. It connects, across the back to give you more support. All right, so we've covered pretty much the side where you have the bottom, which is actually let's see, yeah. So let me think here. I'm trying to remember if there is another piece on the bottom here. I think, yeah, there is another piece. Oh no, this is one of the original slides. Okay, sorry. So you got the slide on the bottom, the riser, another slide, a riser, and this up here is another slide, but with a blank in it because this shelf doesn't pull out. So it's got a dummy blank on the inside here. So it doesn't have a slide on it. If you had 3 AMSs, you'd put another. But this is a slide, riser, riser, slide on each side. Okay. So now let's go back. So after that, we have, let me see here, just a minute. stationary adapter. Trying to remember stationary adapter. Trying to remember what this one. Oh, stationary adapter. See, that's what I mean. Some of these. That's basically the dummy for the rails. That's what is. I can't do this with where that green part is bolted. That's the stationary adapter. It's kind of like the dummy rail is what it is. Okay, so yeah, that's what that is. There's just a blank, and so stationary adapter. That's where you would use one of these for each AMS. So, or each. I only use one pair because I just use it for that top shelf for the AMS HT. So I only printed this out one time. So we'll close that out. I don't think we'll need that anymore. What else here? Extension kit, we've already looked at that. The feet and the heads. Okay, the heads, I printed those out of the same material, the PLA HT. The feet, there's two different. There's a high profile and a low profile. And to be honest with you, I don't remember which one I printed. I think I printed the low profile feet, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, that must be the low profile. So you'll need obviously one set of these. You've got, actually no, I take that back. There's also a foot in the back underneath the extension bracket, the one that goes in the back. There's a foot back there too. So you'll need actually 6 feet. You need 3 for each side. So that's another thing that's not very clear. If you're just printing out just the basic frame without an extension on it, then yeah, you would only need 4. But as you can see from the top up here, you've got 1, 2, and 3. I didn't even print out that last one back there, that cap. But you've got 3 feet and 3 caps on each side with that extension piece. So I printed these out in TPU 95A high flow in the Polymaker PLA HT. So hope that helps somebody. I mean, that alone was another little thing. So what else we got here? The AMS HT tray. Counterweight, I'm not going to really touch on that because that's optional. You can open it up and look at it. It's basically what it is it attaches onto the back, and you can put some concrete pavers in there or something to weigh it down. Plate and racks. Okay, this is another one that you you don't have to have it, but if you are going to use it, make sure that you print it out before you start trying to assemble everything, because it's one of the first things that has to go together before you start assembling it. So you've got a left and a right side. And from my memory, I didn't really have any issues. There is some support material here, but the settings all were pretty good. I had no issues with these. You know, the way they printed out, they did just fine. So you just one plate of this is all you have to print out. Okay. While I'm at it, while I'm here, might as well go ahead and talk about it now. The very first file that we opened that has these covers, they call them connectors. This is what goes on the front right here that covers up the holes. Okay. And this was what I had to redo it, because when I added this top part on here, you don't want to have a seam. In other words, okay, if you look right here, there is a seam right here. Okay, there's a seam there, and there's a seam right there. So you don't want to have you want to have these overlapping. Okay. So when I first printed this out, I had one that had 4 tabs, okay? So it went all the way up to here, I believe it was. I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, it went, I forget now, but I had to redo it. So the way I ended up, to do what I have right here, which is 2 AMSs and the top shelf for the AMS HT, I have 2 on the bottom. When I say 2, I'm talking about 2 of the panels, which is a total of 4 of the T connectors on the back. So 2, and then there's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. So I've got 2, 3, and 2, and that's the same thing on the other side. So 2, 3, 2. All right. So this is what we're looking at. This is a 2 right here, which has 4 of the T connector tabs, but on the bottom it's 2 pieces. So the bottom, it's got 2 of these, and then there's one of the 3 in the middle. This one right here is in the middle. And then at the top was another one of these 2-piece covers. And those help to lock in, you know, they help to join all these pieces on the side here. And they do work really well. It's just knowing which ones to use. So you got 2, and then you got 3, and then you got 2 at the top. So I never could get an answer on some of that. I just had to figure it out. But anyway, so got that out of the way. So we've covered the plate holder, the trays, all this stuff we've covered. The extension bracket, the brace, all that stuff. Let me see here. Okay, so let's go back to the files here. The AMS HT tray. Okay. All right. So, another little bit of confusing bit with this. So we've got an old model up here. Old middle. Okay. And then we've got old sides. All right. So don't use any of these. Don't use them. This one over here is just an empty tray. This is a spool holder. And so here is the new one. This is the front. Click on that. So this is going to be the front part of the shelf. And this is the back and the middle pieces. This is what you have to print. And let me see if I can pull it up over here. Strength. Oh, wait a minute. These are all. Let me see. No, it's not showing strength. Gyroid, 15% infill. I don't believe, I'm not sure why this is not showing. It should be 100%. Oh. Gyroid, 15%. No. Let me see if it's under objects. Strength. Nope. This may not be the file that I used. I think I used a modified file from, I don't know if I've got another one down here. Let me see, AMS HT. I don't see another one. But anyway, I'm just telling you from my experience and others that have commented, all of these pieces for the AMS HT need to be printed with 100% infill. So on the strength, it says 2 wall loops. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the wall loops was also increased to either 6 or 8, and then the infill was 100%. You can select rectilinear. You can't do 100% with gyroid. But yeah, they have to be 100%. If you don't, they're going to sag. So for the AMS HT tray, you need this plate for the front. You need this plate for the middle. These pieces here are the middle. These are the yeah. These are the middle. This is the back, and this is the front. So actually, 2 of them are the side, and 2 of them are the middle, and then one for the back. I don't remember which one. They might be the same on each side, but there's 2 of them go on the side, 2 of them go in the middle. That's the back, and that's the front on over here. So you need that. You can print the optional tray. You can print the spool holder. Just do not do the old version up here. So that's really all there is for that part. Let me go see if there's anything else in here. Counterweight, stationary adapter. See, I separated some of this stuff. I took the sidewall, the riser. I took the STL out and put it in the other file. I think that is everything as far as what you got to print out. So, and as you can see here, he's got AMS HT tray. The counterweight, like I said, that's kind of optional. Extension kit, that's where your back brace is going to be at. We covered that. The feet and the heads, we covered that. The honeycomb riser, which is what I used. The horizontal covers, that's if you've got multiple if you've got multiple racks, so you got another set right next to it, that horizontal cover is for that, which I didn't use. You got your plate holder racks, stationary adapters. That's what I use on the top of the HT. That's the dummy rail. Okay, so that pretty much covers all of that. There's a lot of good pictures in here. Like I said, the hardest part is just trying to figure out what you got to have. Some people have commented, depending on your rails that you use, 3/4 inch screws might be too long and they go through the other side. So I've read comments about that as well. But I'm trying to think of what else I can share. As far as, so see how this one here is in the middle. That's a thicker piece that holds two of these together, where the one on the side is thinner. That's what the horizontal cover is. Horizontal cover. I believe, I'm not sure where this guy's from. It's a good product, just really, in my opinion, kind of poorly laid out. I've boosted him. I mean, the model itself is good, just the implementation of it, not so much. And I don't know why he didn't put more stuff on one plate. I don't know, but he says he couldn't. I don't understand why, but I mean, I've seen other models with a lot of stuff on there, lots of plates. But anyway, so you got all these other things you got to download and print out. If you have any questions or you got something that you can't figure out, let me know. I'll do my best to try to answer it. I mean, I stay busy. These printers, both of them right now are off. I mean, they're not off, but they're not running. They normally stay running 24 hours a day, or 20 to 24 hours a day. But anyway, if you have any questions or something, I'll try my best to try to answer, because there's just not a lot from the designer. And I guess we're going to leave it at that. I have not really used the external spool holder. I print from my dryer. I print from the AMS HT. I haven't really had a need for it. I do use this tray. This tray is very handy. I got all my glue sticks and other bits and pieces up there, so it comes in very handy. I've not had any issues with the tubing. You do have to make your tubing, you got to leave yourself a little bit of slack so that when these pull out, you got enough tubing so that you can pull it out. And the lid opens up all the way. No problem with that. The bottom one is a little bit more finicky than the top. The top's got just a slight bit, but it'll still open up. The bottom one will still open up and stay open. Sometimes the drawer wants to pull itself back closed a little bit. Just don't try to open up both of them at one time, because it will tip over. And that's what that counterweight's for. I think I saw just today a new add-on file where you can actually clamp it to the back of a table. That's something that's new since I printed mine out. But you can also fix other ways to, if you wanted to attach it to, like a desk or something, you could probably come up with something, clamp it or whatever. But I haven't had any issues. As long as I only pull one of them out at a time, I haven't had any trouble. Well, I'm gonna end this video. It's been long enough, almost 50 minutes long. I'm not a YouTuber, not the best speaker, but if it helps you, great. Hope you got something from it. Thank you very much for watching.